and to kind of get things turned around. It's going to be helpful to have more people that maybe for an offensive coordinator to have guys that he knows is going to be able to work with him and work with him quickly and well.
What do you think of Ohio State?
I thought the game or the...
Yeah, what do you think of the Buckeyes? We've now seen Oklahoma, we've seen Michigan, we've seen Michigan. What do you think of Ohio State?
Well, I think that the black shirts played really, really well. I think, again, that's kind of what we've said all year long. I think they kind of put it on them to come up and shut down, high-powered offenses. And, I mean, again, I got a lot of texts from people that are outside of the program, very complimentary of the defense. And gosh, that was so far long ago, I can't even remember. But
it seems like it.
But it seems like again, I listened to a lot of. I drove to go get my dog, pick up my dog who stayed with my parents while I was in Ireland, and I was listening to a lot of radio and talk radio and just national and people talking about how frustrating Ohio State is because they look so different, from week to week, and we've seen them kind of rolling, and then again, which I think maybe people won't give enough credit to Nebraska and how good the defense is, but they're just saying, well, and then Ohio State doesn't look good against Nebraska. Well, maybe throw some credit to the black shirts and how good they played against Ohio State. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, they were out their best receiver, but I do think that's a loaded team with a lot of talent, and if they are playing their best football, I think they're about the only team that could give Georgia a run for their money.
I think if they don't lose, they're probably in the playoff. That's my feeling. But they could lose. They still have to go to Ann Arbor. That's not going to be easy to beat Michigan on the road. And they'll have to play somebody. Right now it might be Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game. But if they do that, I think they're in the Final Four. I think they're one of the four.
To me, and again, I am not one. I think all of this college football playoff shenanigans that happened leading up to the actual revealing is all a bunch of strategery to get the teams in there, to get them set up for how. And I think there's a reason why they put Michigan and Michigan State as high as they did, because Ohio State, a chance to beat them and move up and jump some people. So, yeah, I think, again, I think a lot of people were shocked at that initial Michigan State ranking. I think, again, it was all kind of set up to maybe try to get, maybe leave Cincinnati out to allow for
what they're trying to do.
That's what I believe, so that you can have teams jump Cincinnati. Well, hey, look at this team beat the third ranked team in the college football playoff. I think it's all kind of set up to, if people they've got all these scenarios lined up. Okay, so if Ohio State wins out and they got to beat these teams, these are the teams that need to be ranked here so that we can jump them and have a valid reason for why they jump them. That's just how I believe. I don't think it does much good to do these reveal. I know it's all about transparency, but I don't know how much we actually learn, because I do think I still think they give us a bunch of smoke and mirrors when they come out with these rankings.
Some of the answers have been pretty loose, we don't really want to be pinned down over here, but that's the beauty of it. It gets everybody talking about it during the week. You get everybody trying to figure out where the committee leans toward a certain way or not. But I do believe Ohio State's in if they don't lose.
1,000%.
Georgia's in. Georgia probably could lose and still in.
If you want to talk about the eye test, quote unquote, there are times that Ohio State, again, like I just said, looks to be about the only team that could actually give Georgia a run for their money. People have been asking me, have been texting me. I got a lot of texts about Oklahoma and them being out. I am not sad about it. I want to see Cincinnati get in. I think that'd be great for those teams like Cincinnati that have done everything right, that are going to win out, but just because they're not in a Power 5, they beat Notre Dame, and Notre Dame now is back in the conversation, which
don't tell that to Jeremiah. He doesn't like that.
At least, and we're going to talk about the picks later on in the week, but at least when you make a pick and then they don't win, you're not even mad about it, because I'm not even mad that Texas A&M lost, because I'm like, bye, get out of that college football playoff talk. I do not want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, they didn't deserve to be in there. All right, we got a full show again tonight. Matt Davidson's coming up here in a couple of minutes. We'll hear some clips from Scott Frost. He had a press conference earlier today to talk about some of the coaching action, although he did meet with the media last week, so we covered a lot of that then. We'll hear from that. And then Matt Abdelmassi will join us for our men's basketball show coming up in hour number 2. If you want to be a part of it, here are the numbers: 402-413-2400. Call or fire off a text. In fact, let's take a call before we go to our first break. Let's head out to North Platte. And Jim, good evening, Jim. Welcome to the program.
Well, Well, good evening to you both. You know what? I thought Scott Frost was the coach to be here, but it could be, and it might be not in the cards. But all I'm going to say, when a team goes to 4 or 5 coaches in like 10 to 15, 18 years, that makes it awful hard to recruit. Thank you for taking my call.
No, that's valid. That's a really valid point, Jim. And, you know, one program that's kind of mirrored Nebraska, Jessica, over the last 5 to 8 years is Texas. I mean, Jim Herman had them at a certain level. They blow him out, bring in Sark and Sarkisian right now. Well, they lost 5 straight games in Texas.
For the first time since 1956.
I mean, that's the risk you run if you just say we're going to tear it up and start over again. Texas is spiraling out of control right now.
And it's not even just about recruiting because, again, there's so many. There are certain sports you can turn around quicker, like a basketball program. You can turn around quicker.
You can.
But for football, there's so many different moving parts. And it's not even just about the players. It's about the culture. You know, we've seen teams that have won with less talent because of, you know, the culture that's in place. And it just takes time to build up a football program. So it really takes about 5 years, I think. And there's a lot of programs, and not even just, I mean, there's a lot of, even outside of football, a lot of people will argue that most sports take about 5 years because that's a full recruiting class. So if you get your players in, it takes 4 years to get them to be seniors. If you redshirt a bunch of them, 5 years. So, you know, to get all of your people in there, it usually takes 4 to 5 years. And so that's when you kind of see those culture and again, some of those pages start to turn and the tides start to turn when you have all of your guys in there and the culture is in place. And I think that's kind of the big thing that we've heard this year is that it's a different feel in that locker room. And again, even though it hasn't translated to wins, the culture is kind of starting to get to be in place. And so, yeah, I think if you completely move away from this staff, then you're just starting that all over again.
Right. And that's why I like what Trev Alberts did. I think the defense is where we want it to be to win championships and win a lot of games. Got to fix the offense, and I think that's where things are headed here. Doug in Norfolk wants to know, if Georgia beats Bama bad in the SEC championship game, does Bama get in? I don't think so. I don't think a 2-loss Bama team gets in. Now, I might not be – maybe people don't share that, but I don't think Bama can lose again and get in. I don't think they can.
I agree. I mean, gosh, again, going back to the College Football Playoff Committee, and they love them some Crimson Tide, so I wouldn't put it past them. Again, it's so much you can speculate all you want, but then things happen that you don't expect to happen, and there's still so much football to be played that you never know. You know, to see some of the teams that might go down and lose to teams that they're not supposed to, who might be able to slide in there. I mean, honestly, I've been in Oklahoma for every year that they got into the college football playoff, and they were down and out. Nobody thought that they should be in until the very last game of the year because certain teams won. Jalen Hurts comes in as the backup quarterback for Alabama, leads them from a come from behind win over Georgia, which ends up booting Georgia out, which got Oklahoma in, and then Jalen ends up coming to Oklahoma. But had Georgia won that game, Georgia and Alabama both would have been in the college football playoff. So you just never know. It could come down to the wire in this deal, and we still might see teams shift in and out. I think Georgia is about the only team that's a lock. That's a lock.
They could lose to whoever in the SEC title game.
And they'll be in, yeah.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder for the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Let's go to West Point and Pete. Good evening, Pete. Welcome to the program.
Good evening. How you doing today?
Good, thank you.
I guess I got a couple comments, and I'd like to hear your response on them. I think maybe Scott Frost took $1 million less so he could pay more money to an offensive coordinator and offensive assistants. So I think maybe they plan on going out and getting the best or the best they can get. But my second part of it is, if Adrian's not coming back, do you think we're going to see Logan Smothers play quite a bit more in the last 2 games?
I don't get the sense of that, Pete. I mean, Scott was asked that today about, is this a time to start playing younger players? And he said, no, we're he goes, we'll think about that, but we're trying to win these last 2 games. So I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I think if Adrian's healthy, he probably gets the snaps.
Well, it depends on his health, I think. I think we might see a little bit of a repeat against last year against Rutgers. I think they're going to run the ball more, and the quarterback's going to run the ball a little more and kind of keep it a little more simplified since you don't have your four coaches on staff. But I guess that's just my opinion. Yeah. I'll hang up and listen to your show.
All
Thanks.
Right. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. Now, that could be. I mean, Adrian is healthy. I think he's probably as healthy now as he's been since before the broken jaw in the Michigan State game, which I'm glad that was announced. I think he's had to live with that, and it's. I hope people realize that this is a tough kid that's played throughout the year.
Yeah, a broken jaw is no joke. You can't eat normally.
Right.
You can't eat what you normally eat. And in the middle of a football season where you have to, keep your weight up. And if you've missed the nutrition podcast, listen to Dave Ellis talking about that and how important that is. The food that you put in your body is the fuel that kind of allows you to do what you do out on a football field. And he can't eat normally,
yeah.
I would imagine. I mean, I've known some people with some broken jaws. A lot of times it's wired shut. I don't think his is not obviously wired shut, but, there's no way that you can chew normally with a broken jaw.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, and I know he hasn't succeeded at the level any of us or he wanted to, but he is a pretty tough kid. Pete, appreciate the phone call. He dialed us up on our Sports Sunday hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Back to talk to Matt Davis in our Mondays with Matt, coming up next.
Find your new vehicle at Woodhouse Chevy Buick today, where we have a full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs, like the 2021 Silverado, which is a hard-working, smarter, bigger, yet lighter truck than the previous generation, helping you get the job done right every time. Or shop our wide selection of pre-owned inventory available now. Find new roads and explore all our new inventory arriving daily at woodhousegm.com or at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. For the fourth year in a row, the University of Nebraska system ranked as one of the top 100 institutions worldwide in earning U.S. patents. The NU system was granted 38 patents, and of those, 27 were awarded to UNL researchers. The result? New startup companies, jobs, and university licensed products that grow Nebraska's economy.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You trained for this all year. endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Great job, everyone. Printers, great coverage. Phones, quick pickups. Firewall, tough defense. And network, way to carry the whole team. Ever since Marco started calling our technology plays, we work smarter and our whole game is more streamlined. Marco's all-star services and support give us the winning edge. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
We are back in our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer. 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. We're back here on a Sports Alley Monday night again, our men's basketball show with Matt Abdelmassi coming up at the top of the hour. Right now, though, Mondays, football season, means nothing better than Mondays with Matt. To talk to the color analyst of the Husker Network, Matt Davison. Off week, but not really an off week for the program. A lot of news that happened last week with Scott Frost, the announcement he was coming back, but some changes on the staff.
Yeah, made some changes last week, and then, recruiting is always important, and during an off week, that's even more important, and more time can go into that for the staff, and then still 2 games to play. So, last week was a really busy week for Coach Frost and the rest of the coaches, and now in full Wisconsin mode, trying to get ready to go to Madison and play a really good football team.
Coach said it was a tough 72 hours from last Monday to probably Wednesday. That wasn't easy. But sometimes those things have to happen on a program to keep moving forward.
Yeah, you see it, across the country happening in different places, and, it's never easy to do those things. We spend a lot of time together and get to know each other really well and each other's families and everything. And so I know it was a really difficult few days, and, it's just, unfortunately, some things like that have to happen and need to happen within a program, and that happened to us last week. So, it's a couple games left and then push forward towards signing day in December.
How have the players reacted to this? Because, they spend so much time with their position coaches.
Sure. Young guys are resilient. I think anytime you have position coach change, it didn't happen in my position when I played here, but I had other guys that had new coaches at different positions, and I can speak to, just being on some different teams, in high school and then in the NFL, different coach. You learn something from every coach you play for. And so there's no question that all the guys on our team learned a lot from the coaches that were a part of the staff. And when we get new coaches in here, they'll be able to teach some new things to the guys that are still in the program moving forward. And so I think you stack information and you stack, things that you learn from each different coach you play for, and it makes you a better player. And so it's difficult. I know all the guys that were a part of the staff are really good men. And so they developed good relationships with their players. And so it's never easy. And again, you spend just so much time together as a football family with players and coaches, and then coaches and extended staff beyond the coaches. So, you spend a lot of time together, and so it's a big change. But, like I said, young guys are really resilient. They love to compete. They love to play. And so I expect we'll have a good week like we did today.
Your position coach when you played was Ron Brown, who now is back out. He's going to run the running back room for the next couple of weeks. Probably a little odd, but almost in some ways very familiar to hear his voice out there.
Well, it's nice to have somebody with that experience that can step in, right? I mean, he's coached for a long, long time, many decades, and so he's been through a lot of different things and seen a lot of different things, and so his experience is going to be really valuable right now to the guys in that room and to the offense. He's an unbelievable man and loves Nebraska. He would do just about anything, I think, for this program. So for him to step in and help with the running backs right now, to go on the road recruiting, he's happy to do whatever he can for the program. I know he'll do a great job.
Last time we were on the mic together was the Ohio State game. What an effort by the Big Red against a really, really good team, a team that may end up being in the college football playoff, but that was a heck of a football game.
It was. I mean, man, the defense played so well and, just needed one more drive and got down in the red zone, couldn't quite punch it in, missed a field goal, and then they had a field goal, and the game was over. It was, a four-quarter game. The guys, again, played really, really hard. The defense, especially in the second half, didn't give up a touchdown to this offense, which is going up and down the field on everybody. I think they played 90 snaps or something on defense, and so to only give up 26 points and not give up a touchdown in the second half playing that many snaps goes to show you how hard they played, the number of plays that they had to be out there. We subbed a little bit, but for the most part, it was a lot of the same guys, and they were able to hold down maybe the best offense in the country to a respectable number. So, just, again, we needed one more drive, got the ball down in the red zone, had a 3rd and 4, didn't pick it up, and decided to kick a field goal, to cut it to a 3-point game. The way the defense was playing, that was probably the right call, and as it turns out, they held them to a field goal, and then touchdown still would have won had we made the field goal. But you never know how those things are going to turn out, and again, came up short against probably the best team we've played, and we've played a lot of really good teams. But if you look top to bottom, no question, it's probably the best offense we've played, and maybe the best overall team we've played, and we've played 3 or 4 really good ones this year.
Last time we will see JoJo Domann in a Husker uniform. How will you remember him as a Husker?
Well, it seems like, he's been here forever, and he was. He was such a big part of this program for so many years. And, I just always enjoy my talks with JoJo when I see him in the hallway or before games. He's a really good kid. He's not even a kid anymore. He's a man. And so I'll miss him. He's a great football player. He's going to have a good NFL career, I believe. And when he's done playing football, he's going to be really good at whatever he does after that. He's a good communicator. He's an emotional player, which is good. It helps with leadership. He really brings passion to the football field, and he's going to really be missed these last 2 games. We're playing, 2 physical teams, and he's a guy that's so versatile. He can defend against the pass and the run, and so it's going to be a big hole to fill on defense for 2 games.
Coach Frost mentioned today that one guy we may see in that role is Isaac Gifford. It's a young guy from Lincoln, obviously an older brother, was a heck of a Husker as well.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboy now, doing a good job for the Cowboys. Isaac's a really good athlete. He's a physical kid. He's really explosive. He can really run. And he just hasn't played a lot out on defense, and so it's gonna be a big challenge for him. And I think we'll piece it together. He's gonna play a lot, and these two teams like to run the ball a lot too. So you be in base a little bit, nickel a little bit. So he'll get a lot of playing time. I think he's gonna do a really good job. But it's going to be by committee to some degree based on the formations and the sets that we get from Wisconsin, then eventually Iowa next week.
You said, and I agree with you, that Ohio State's the best team top to bottom we play, but Wisconsin might make the case for being the best defense we play. They're really good over there, aren't they?
Yeah, and we've faced some good ones, right? I mean, Michigan's a heck of a defense. Yep. Michigan State has good defense. I mean, we've played some good teams, and statistically, they were the best one that we've played. They're really aggressive. They're sound in everything they do. They don't give up a lot of huge plays, and so they make you earn it. It's going to be a big challenge for the offense this week, and Wisconsin's probably playing their best football right now. They're on a heck of a stretch where they're scoring a lot more points, and they're still not giving up many. So they're playing about as well as anybody in the conference right now, top to bottom. And going up there, it's going to be a big challenge at Camp Randall. But it's always fun to play up there. I'll say that. It's always a good crowd, and I think our guys will be ready to go.
You mentioned Ron Brown. He'll run the running backs for him. What's your confidence level in the other coaches getting their positions ready to play? It's a big change going from having a full-time coach to these guys jumping in here.
It is. But, these guys are in those meetings every day. They're around the players all day when they're here. And they're out on the field or in some cases at least, watching practice, and they see what's happening so that they can, correct things when they need to in the film room. And so they're familiar with these players. They're familiar with their room. And so, their roles have changed. They're going to be much more leadership role, hands-on, on the field coaching all the time. And so that's different. But Steve Cooper will do a good job at quarterback. He's a really bright young coach, and I think he's going to communicate with the players well, and they respect him. Frank Verducci's been around a long time in coaching, and so he's a veteran coach who's seen a lot of things, and so with the offensive line, I think he'll be able to step in and coach all the things that Greg had coached before and do a good job there. Mike Cassano has been a coach a long time too, so he'll help with the running backs with the wide receivers. And so along with Ron Brown, I think we have, really good guys that are capable to come in and execute the things during practice that Coach Frost wants to see, and then hopefully carry that into the game. It is going to be different for Scott to be on the headset with different guys, right? I mean, you kind of have a cadence to who speaks and when they speak and how that all works during a game. And it was Coach Lubick with Coach Frost a lot of the time, and other guys interjecting here and there, and now it's going to be different. And so that'll be a big change for Scott Frost. But like I said, I think these guys are capable coaches for sure, and they'll do their best to get our guys ready for Saturday.
All right, off to Camp Randall we go. This is not one of my favorite booths that we go to.
I was just telling Jason Peter about that out on the field this morning, and Jay Foreman. They were like, "Yeah, you're going to be up in the box. You're going to be all warm."
I don't think there's heat.
I was like, "No, it's we freeze up there every time when it's cold." Yeah, it's. I don't know if they're ever going to redo that booth, but it's about as old as any booth we're ever in. So wear your warm socks.
Yep.
You probably have the ones with the batteries in them or something.
No, I don't. I may have to buy some.
Get them by Saturday.
And I'm not a big fan of the third quarter thing and the way that booth shakes.
You don't feel totally safe. Like, as you look around the booth and you see the cracks in the concrete and the windows, the lack of windows, it feels like the thing could shake to the ground.
I know, that jump around. I know the fans like it. I'm not a huge fan of that thing. So
it'll be fun, though. It'll be a great challenge. We're playing a really good football team again, and it's Big Ten football in November. It's going to be cold and physical.
All right, have a good week. I'll bring a blanket.
Hey, sounds good, man. Thanks.
There he is, Matt Davison, with us as he is on Mondays throughout the season. This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's during double discount days. Double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card. Purchase Valentino's. Handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations. And now get a $10 gift card for free with a $50 gift card purchase at Valentino's. Phone lines are open for you, 402-413-2400. We're back with more of the show next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit DeTow Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DeTowSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
Finally, it's time to tailgate, to find your spot in a sea of red, to get together with family and fans, and to share what makes Husker football season the best. This season, share Valentino's Tailgater tradition with their Big Red Double Jumbo deal and get 2 one-topping jumbo pizzas for only $17.99 each. Order yours at valentinos.com. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Shop the Season of Inspiration sales event at Woodhouse Mazda today. Whether you're looking for a vehicle for your next adventure or an SUV with third-row capacity for the whole family, the Mazda lineup has you covered. From the Mazda CX-3 to the Mazda CX-9, the Mazda family of crossovers is designed for the road ahead. Test drive one today at one of our 2 convenient Woodhouse Mazda locations in Bellevue or Omaha, or shop online today, making your car buying easy. This is Woodhouse.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome Triple Stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Here is a before-winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple-pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, called J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The Rural Fellows Program doubled their average number of participating students this year, putting UNL student interns to work in 17 Nebraska communities for the summer. Interns use their skills to get real-world experience on a variety of projects, from mapping out trail systems to creating promotional videos to researching and documenting local history.
We're back here on Sports Alley. Time to see what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker basketball tomorrow night against the Creighton Blue Jays, 6 o'clock tip, 5 o'clock for pregame coverage here on the network. Wednesday night, Husker women against, you got it, Creighton. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip at PBA, 6:45 for pregame coverage. Husker volleyball back in action over the weekend. They'll take on the Penn State Nittany Lions Friday night at 8 o'clock, 7:30 for pregame coverage. So everything's happening here this week, all presented by Bud Light. Let's head to the phones. Let's go to Omaha. Doc and Rock. Good evening, Doc. Welcome to the program.
Hey, good evening. How we doing, my friend?
Good, buddy. Thanks.
Good. Go Big Red, as usual. And I hope Coach is taking care of himself because, you know, sometimes we can look a little haggard, right? And, you know, Coach obviously is working a lot of hours, and everybody knows that being a head coach of a Division I football team, you know, you're putting in a lot of hours. And I just hope Coach is taking care of himself. I really do. It's kind of obvious how hard Scott's working, and you know, he's in physically good shape for his age, and I know he exercises quite a bit. So I just hope Coach is taking care of himself. I just want to acknowledge the fact that you know, these coaches work so hard. They put in a lot of hours, and that's basically what I wanted to say. And maybe your ideas on top candidates for OC.
All right, yeah, Doc, thank you. And Jessica, somebody mentioned today they thought he looked really tired at his press conference. I don't know. Maybe I'm around him too much, but that didn't stand out to me. Maybe I'm sure he is, but.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard that he's been, you know, burning the candle at both ends, which, you know, absolutely. I think it's that time of the season, too. It's just the hard time of the season where you're trying to lock up and finish recruiting, but then also finish out a season. And then, oh, by the way, now he's hiring some new coaches. So it's just, yeah, I mean, it's going to catch up to you. I think a lot of football coaches right now look a little tired. That's just how it is. It's a long season.
And last week wasn't easy. I mean, those were good buddies of his. He's been around those coaches for the last 7-8 years, going back to his time at UCF. That's stressful too when you have to let go a friend from his profession. That's hard.
Yeah, and didn't he played with Held, right?
He did.
Wasn't Held on the
They were teammates.
Yeah, I mean, and again, they have families, and you spend so much time together. You get to know the families. It's not an easy situation. So yeah, I'm sure all of that is just weighing heavily on him. It's not an easy time, but. You know, I think, again, as you heard him saying, he's trying to get everything done that he can, but it's all focuses on, you know, trying to win this game against Wisconsin and everything. I know everybody wants to talk about everything else and, you know, the potential hires and recruiting and all of that because that's, you know, the future. But this team deserves all effort being put in on trying to win this game at Wisconsin. And we saw it. They almost won against Ohio State. So I think a lot of these guys are going to see a big opportunity ahead. And I keep saying it every week, but it still is important. There's a lot of these guys that are trying to get to the next level. I think JoJo did a really good job of kind of setting himself up, of putting together several games together on film that, you know, scouts are going to be able to watch and turn to. Cam Taylor-Britt still trying to do that. He's still a guy that's, you know, trying to get drafted. There are still a lot of players that are trying to set themselves up. Austin Allen is a guy that potentially could go to the NFL, that are trying to put some excellent game film out there against a good, I mean, for Wisconsin, one of the best defenses in the country. So for Austin Allen to maybe potentially go out there and do big things, that would bode well for him and his future. So you still got a lot of guys that are thinking about things. Yes, they want to win for Nebraska, but they also want to win for themselves to set themselves up for their future.
Doc called us up on our Sports Sunday hotline, which is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Back with our last little bit of this hour before we hand it off to the men's basketball show. That's coming up next.
Inspired by the legendary coach Tom Osborne, Nebraska Athletics is proud to introduce the 255 collection. With the mission to connect style with Nebraska pride, 255 was designed with the fan in mind. With high quality at the forefront, 255 can be worn anywhere, from sporting events and business meetings to backyard get-togethers. No matter the occasion, 255 is about feeling confident, looking good, and celebrating the remarkable coaching career of Tom Osborne. Shop now at Huskers.com or participating retailers. For more information, visit Huskers.com/255.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome triple stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
We're back, final few minutes of hour one of Sports Island here on a Monday night. Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. No show tomorrow. Husker basketball will be on the air at this time tomorrow night against Creighton. Big interstate rival between the Huskers and the Blue Jays. Wednesday night, we will have an hour, just a short show as well, because we have women's basketball. They play Creighton on Wednesday night. How about that?
I'm so excited to take in my first two Creighton matchups this week, and inside PBA, it's going to be rocking. That's why I'm wearing the shirt today. It's hard to see, but it's a red out, you know, and you're going to get a free T-shirt. The students are going to get free T-shirts, so everybody loves the free T-shirts.
Sweet. That'll be fun. Busy. This is a great month because you got it all going. You still have football finishing up. Volleyball's coming down the stretch of their season. Huskers tied for first after the weekend. Wrestling starts tomorrow night. They got a big, or they started last week with the Nebraska duels, but they do have North Carolina in town on Wednesday night. So it's a fun time of the year. That's going to put a wrap on our 1 hour of Sports Island. Our men's basketball show, Matt Abdelmassi has made his way into the studios. We got him out of his arm sling. He's ready to roll. Get your comments, questions ready for him. Talk some Husker football, Husker basketball recruiting with him as they tipped off that wonderful class announced last week. That show coming up on the other side. Don't go away.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From the field to game day tailgates, make the most of this season with a new Ford from Woodhouse. Now offering 0% APR for 60 months and up to $1,000 in bonus cash on select vehicles. Plus, shop, finance, and buy your way online at WoodhouseFord.com or one of our 3 convenient Ford dealerships. So get a win this season with Woodhouse Ford. WACTTL Extra must finance with Ford Credit Financing. Vehicle delivery due by 1/3/2022. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 11/30/2021. See dealer for details.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska Lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
Here we go again. The celebrating, the accolades. Ever since we added Marco to our team, our technology can't lose. Day after day, success after success, Marco's made our business IT a force to be reckoned with. The only drawback of being technology all-stars is keeping champagne away from the electronics. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
This is the Nebraska Men's Basketball Show with assistant coach Matt Abdelmassi. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Now the handoff coming to it. It's Lampley with it. Lampley and a ball taken away. Eduardo Andre with the strip to Verge to Eduardo and the dunk with the left hand and the foul. Man. Ball, Verge spins in the paint, hangs up there, shoots up an air ball. Rebound, Wilcher, put back, yes. 45-44, Wilcher, Johnny on the spot. Here's Verge in transition after the takeaway, turnover. Ball knocked free, and Bryce McGowan follows it with a dunk. And you're going to hear the horn, and that'll be the game, and the Huskers win their first one of the season. They come from behind at home at PBA and knock off Sam Houston State.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody.
And welcome into our weekly men's basketball show. I'm Jessica Coody here with assistant coach Matt Abdelmassi. Get those calls and texts in for the recruiting guru. We got lots of things to talk about him, just fresh off the latest signing day for this men's basketball program last week. So we're going to get to dive into all of that. Again, that's on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline, 402-413-2400. Brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Well, first win in the books. You guys got to like the way that this team fought back. I mean, things were not going their way. It wasn't easy, but came from behind and got in the win column. Sometimes the first one's the hardest one to get.
Yeah, it sure is. It was good to see our guys come out of the locker room in that second half and really started to figure it out and trust each other. You know, we were talking prior to coming on the show about it. When you put a team together and all you have is practice and competition amongst yourself, you don't really get that true adverse situation to see how you react. And we certainly got that game one. Not that we reacted negatively, because actually for us, we felt like internally our guys handled it well. It's just that we couldn't get through the trusting part of guys really figuring it out like we saw in practice in those two exhibition games. So to see that in the second half of this last game was really good. Definitely a breakthrough moment for us early on, and really happy for our guys that they figured it out.
Yeah, it's just so much different in practice and not even just like playing together, but also figuring out how to win together and who to trust in those moments. Is just I got to imagine it's going to be a big learning moment for this team moving forward.
Yeah, no question. You have guys from so many different backgrounds, different schools, high school, whatever it may be, different paths that got them to Lincoln. And to have them all come together, there's nobody better at making a team cohesive to go out there and win like Coach Hoiberg. He's done it at such a high level. We always had roster turnover when we were at Iowa State, and certainly the same now. That's somewhat college basketball at its finest in today's day and age with the transfer portal. But, listen, as a sports fan, you never want to hear the word patience. You don't want to hear it's going to take time. I know I don't.
And you're a Mets fan. You haven't developed that patience yet?
No, I have zero patience. But there is a maturation process that happens with your guys. They have to be put in situations where they're battle-tested, and that's what really creates the cohesion that we're looking for. And we felt like we got that through 2 games, which is really good, and it helps you prepare for a great game that we have tomorrow night.
We heard Coach Hoiberg talking, the last time I was on the show with him, and then, about Alonzo Version when you guys were recruiting him, that he saw his ability to kind of see the floor and kind of gave him some ability to make some play calls. And he was talking today in the press conference about, again, this is kind of his first time playing this role, really, at this level. And so kind of, I guess, take us through what goes into that when you've got a guy that absolutely can play the position and has a vision and can absolutely distribute the ball, but it's not the role that he's been in. Right. So it's kind of like asking him to kind of figure out, how to do it and how to do it for this team.
Yeah, the last 4 years, Alonzo has had one thing on his mind, and that's that scoring mentality. He was going to go out there and just get buckets. And when we knew that we had to replace a facilitator and floor general in Delano Banton, we knew that we were going to have somebody come in that can command that position. And Alonzo's best attribute is facilitating. And through 2 games, he's had 5 assists and 6 assists, which in college basketball standards is very good.
It's second in the Big Ten, by the way.
There you
top,
go.
Top 25 in the nation.
And he has not passed and facilitated to the level that he should. And he knows that. Coach watched film with him these last couple days just to show certain reads and see what he was thinking and see what he saw to help him walk through those situations. But there is no question that the trust level that we have as a program in Alonzo being that floor general is very, very confident. And we saw a kid that was just pressing, and that twitch went on that I want to get buckets, because that is what mentally he's been geared towards for these last 4 years. So, once again, it's that maturation process. And although we saw pockets of it, that second half did a really good job this past game at facilitating. We're going to see that growth and continue to see it at a high level.
And you talked about the patience, and 4 of 22 from 3-point against Sam Houston. And again, still found a way to win, still found other ways to win, which I think will be big for this team moving forward. But Bryce hits all 4 of those 3-pointers. This is a team that's going to shoot the ball much better than they have in the first 2 games.
Absolutely. And, a lot of our shooting woes up to this point literally have come from the fact that we're not getting the same rhythm looks and attempts that we typically like to get in this offense. That's how this roster was constructed, to have the perimeter threats, to get in the teeth of the defense, and you have all these shooters just floating around the perimeter, being shot ready, and that's not what we've had. A lot of that has to do with Alonzo making those right decisions, getting to that teeth of the defense, getting into the paint, and making the right read and right play, and that's where that growth has come. We got really good looks. I really think the barometer of last game started in the first 3 offensive possessions where Lat got really good opportunities and they didn't go down, and that set the tone for the rest of the game where we weren't getting those same opportunities, because we have elite shooters. We don't have good shooters. We have elite shooters on this team, and they're just not getting those rhythm looks that this offense really creates. And we've seen it in practice. We've seen it in the 2 exhibition games. And like Coach said, we just got to get that lid off the basket. And, if we could, the biggest thing is Coach has really emphasized is just trusting each other. When we trust each other and we trust this offense, that's when the lid will get off, and that's when we'll shoot the ball at a higher rate.
C.J. Wilcher is one of those guys. I mean, he's close to a 40% 3-point shooter. I mean, 38%, I think, last year. But he was out, and this is one thing that, a lot of fans might not see, and this has happened a couple of times after exhibition games, and then after the couple of games, you have guys coming out and shooting after the game is over. CJ was that guy the other night. I think Kobe Webster was out there getting up shots after the game. He knows he's got to shoot the ball better, but those types of guys that will go shoot after a game, I think, speaks volumes to the culture of this program.
Yeah, that's one thing that makes a program and a team really successful, when you have guys that really respect the craft that they're in. And we have guys that are really serious about their craft and reaching their goals. And, CJ's certainly one of them. And, the one thing is they play for literally the best head coach in the country that literally wants the ball to let it fly. Doesn't matter if you're 0 for 10, shoot that 11th shot. And there's nothing but unwavering confidence across the board with all our guys, which I always feel like is when your guys go out there and play like superheroes. And we haven't seen it up to this point. We will, and once we break through and we get that confidence that we expect to get in game, that's when you start really seeing it all pay off, and you start seeing the lethal offensive weapons that we know we have.
One of those guys burying the lead here, by the way, Bryce McGowan's the Big Ten Freshman of the Week, announced today. School record for the most points scored by a freshman in a debut with 25 against Western Illinois, and then followed that up against Sam Houston, 29 points. But doing so many other things well. I mean, 7 for 9 from the free throw, 5 rebounds. He shares the ball well, turnovers. He plays pretty good defense for a freshman, too. I mean, just and then a very kind human being is at that. We were talking about
Yeah.
that off air as well, just a genuine human being as well. But for him to come out and have the 2 games that he had, I mean, were you guys kind of surprised by that, or is that what you expected?
Yeah, there's no surprise whatsoever. I mean, he's just an elite talent. Certainly the caliber of player that we knew we were getting. We've seen these last 2 games. It was great to see him get the lid off the basket and knock down some really big 3-pointers this last game. The one thing that's really underrated about Bryce's game is his ability to pass the ball in pick-and-roll situations and ball screens. And, that's certainly an area he's really grown as well at reading defenses, because at this level, there's going to be the kitchen sink thrown at you literally every night. And, listen, that's the thing about our roster is when a team is preparing to play us, they're certainly going to circle him as an offensive weapon to stop. And that is one thing Coach has done a really good job of, is making him understand, reads on the defense on how to alter shots and getting your shots in different areas, because in high school you're able to get away with literally anything. And at this level, he's done a really good job of finding that secondary move, that third move. And, one thing as well that has been really we were all pleased at is just his defensive ability and his attention on that defensive end. And he's certainly really grown and locked in. And being a 2-way player is something that is rare in today's day and age, especially with the freshmen, because it's such a huge learning curve. And his basketball feel and IQ is just absolutely elite.
He plays, it's so smooth. It's like it's not like a hard 29. I mean, you look up, it's like, oh, he has 29 points.
Yeah.
It just seems like so natural and easy for him.
He's so fluid with his movements. There's times out there where you don't think he's playing hard, but his movements are exactly that, fluid, smooth. He's always in control. And, that speaks to, the level that he will eventually play at. And,
it's kind of Kevin Durant-ish a little bit.
I mean, when you watch an NBA game live, you really appreciate the elite athletes these guys are with how easy their movements are. From point A to point B, it's seamless, easy, fluid, and that's what you see in Bryce. And, our strength and conditioning coach has done an absolutely phenomenal job. Training staff done a phenomenal job at really gaining weight, getting stronger, creating, quicker movements. Lateral quickness has increased. All those areas are a credit to the last 5 months. And not to say he wasn't an elite athlete coming in, because he was, but all those areas, that's why this place is what it is with the resources we have, because when we have the elite support staff that are able to actually get their hands on you to help you develop, that's when you start seeing it, when you start playing these games and seeing how well these kids are going up against these guys across the country.
I think what also says a lot about him and why he will have a long future is that, he breaks a freshman record, and we heard his brother talking today. He scores 25, but he goes 1 for 6, and he was disappointed in his performance.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's an athlete that's going to have a long career. When you have 25, it's like, oh, I scored 25. No, he wasn't happy with some of that performance.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Bryce has been very vocal on exactly what his goals are and what his intentions are with his experience here at Nebraska. He wants to win, and whatever that means, whether that's scoring 25 or whether it's getting 8 assists, whether that's getting the big defensive stop. And, he's taken that responsibility on. He's clearly handled it wonderfully and in the professional way that you probably wouldn't expect the kid of his age to handle. And, that speaks volume to who he is, how he was raised. And, to have 2 brothers go out there and perform at such an elite level and have such an attachment, love, and appreciation for each other is something that's a breath of fresh air that you don't get to see very often.
Yeah, that was the next person I was going to ask you about is Trey. And, Coach has talked a lot about, the conversations about, your roles and embracing those roles. And those roles might change, but this is what this team needs from you, and kind of being very open and honest about that. And it seems like Trey is a guy that absolutely has embraced that role of, hey, I might have 0 points, but if I have 6 rebounds and I'm guarding the best player and I get defensive stops and I'm a catalyst on the defensive end, that's great for him. And I think that's big as well when you have a guy like that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, role allocation is extremely difficult in any sport. And with us, when you have a lot of options off the bench and we do have depth, you know, in order to really max your team out, that role allocation has to be embedded and talked about literally on a daily basis. And with Trey, he has an ability to affect the game on both ends, but defensively, he could be Defensive Player of the Year. And that's what we have really enforced with him in the preseason is you need to be Defensive Player of the Year in this league because he has all the ability to do that, and he has aspirations to want to play at the next level. That is his ticket to get there. And we know offensively he can score. He can get going. You know, he showed that in the second half of that first game. He was a huge spark. He gave us the chance to win that game with his defensive abilities turning into offensive opportunities that he created. But, yeah, I mean, Trey has done just as exactly what we thought he would, which is accept that, embrace it, and, you know, one of those guys that is a senior leader that's been through it before, that sets the tone for the rest of the team that he's accepting that role.
All right, got to take a quick break here on our weekly Nebraska Men's Basketball Show with Matt Abdelmassih. But coming up, we got to talk about the latest signees, the newest class that will be coming in here. Signing day happened last week, and this is the guy to talk all about that with. So keep it here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When you choose Woodman Life, you choose a better life insurance company. Yes, Woodman Life is life insurance, but so much more. Woodman Life is here to protect your family's financial future and offer help when the going gets tough. And Woodman Life is honored to join you in the celebration of family, community, and country. Get to know Woodman Life at woodmanlife.org. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska. You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. MERS Farm Equipment in Falls City, Nebraska. www.mersfarmequipment.com. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
What is highbid.com? It's the online auction site for just about everything under the sun. Art and antiques, cars and coins, office equipment and furniture, toys and tools. You can find it all at highbid.com. Highbid.com gives you access to thousands of auctions across the USA and around the world. Browse the most popular auctions, search for the exact item you want, or just explore the site. Go to highbid.com. That's HIBID.com and find what you're looking for today.
This year, don't just get ready. Get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Whether you're getting out to the mall or getting off the grid, we've got a Ford SUV that's perfect for you. Or check out America's best-selling trucks, Ford F-Series. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right and get our best offers during the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance.
all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Whether you're getting out to the mall or getting off the grid, we've got a Ford SUV that's perfect for you. Or check out America's best-selling trucks, Ford F-Series. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right and get our best offers during the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall and Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solution for every field. I'm Jessica Coody, and here with assistant coach Matt Abdelmassi with our weekly Husker men's basketball radio show. And we just, teased before the commercial break, of course, just had a signing day, and it's always a big day. But I think you've become well known across not just here in Nebraska, but in all the roles that you've had as being an excellent recruiter. I mean, you've had the accolades and all the lists, one of the top recruiters in the country. And when you have conversations with these guys, and I'm kind of getting to know a few of them, a lot of them bring you up as a reason why they came here and they trust you. And I think it might be interesting for fans to hear about how you even got into being, the recruiting guru, and how that kind of became such a big role with what Coach Hoiberg does in college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, really just fell into it. I worked 2 years in the NBA. That's where I met Coach Hoiberg with the Minnesota Timberwolves. That really allowed me to get the professional side of it and on how to build a team and an organization, which allowed me, when we got to Iowa State, to really look at the transfer portal as a way to build a team, which in 2009 was like, why are you doing that? It's not going to work. How can you take all these kids? You guys are going to fail miserably. We heard it all from media people to fans to supporters. But the transfer portal to me is very similar to NBA free agency, and not many NBA teams can just build a team or a successful team through the draft. Doesn't happen. You know, you have your 1 or 2 draft picks. You definitely, just like you have, you know, you get your 2, 3 freshmen, but then you still need the experience and the older kids to come in, and that healthy mesh between the youth, inexperience, and the older guys with the experience. So really the reason I got into it is my first recruit ever at Iowa State was a kid, Royce White, who was arguably our best player in our 5 years there, who ended up being, you know, 16th overall pick in 2012. And, you know, why I've gotten to this point, I mean, I really take a lot of pride in my relationships with people, take a lot of pride in doing my best to make sure that that trust never breaks. And not to say it always works out, because it hasn't, but when there's nothing but transparency and the honesty that comes with that, that's not something you get in this business or just in life in general. And it's what I've kind of just made my foundation of who I am, and it's allowed me to get to this point in my career where I'm able to attract some of the best kids across the country through those relationships that take a lot of work. You know, there's nothing more important to me than making sure our guys always feel like this is a comfortable, trusting situation. Because if they have those 2 things when they walk on the court tomorrow night at 6 p.m., we have a really good chance to win. And that's where a lot of programs fail, is there's a disconnect. And not that it's always perfect. You know, we're a family, and families are dysfunctional. You know, you have your ups and downs and twists and turns, but the bedrock of who we are as a program, certainly who I am as a person, is when there's a problem, let's talk it out. Let's not make this turn into something a lot bigger than what it is. So in a roundabout way, my answer to how I've gotten to this point is literally off of that. You know, I've worked really hard at building the network that I have built. Transfers have been a huge part of my life. That's a 365-day job that you're always just trying to be organized and have the information, and you're ready to go. And, you know, certainly some of the relationships that I have had, it's a funny way how it all works out. The McGowans are a perfect example. Recruiting them when I was at my last job at St. John's, and, you know, having the ability to make an impression on someone where they could trust you and call you and say, well, Trey's transferring. Are you interested? And, of course, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, then, of course, with his brother Bryce, and, you know, having that trust with a family is something I take very serious and a lot of pride in. And, you know, that role I make sure never wavers in the kids and what we have going on and what we're building.
I did want to ask you about that, too, because when we had Bryce and Trey in here, I think back in August, Trey was very adamant that he did not want to influence Bryce. He wanted it to be Bryce's decision. So what was your perspective on seeing that, having already had Trey here?
Yeah.
But kind of watching that, it had to be pretty special, too, that Trey wanted to make sure that this was the right decision for Bryce.
Trey was not involved at all in the process. I might have talked to Trey about Bryce 2 or 3 times the entire duration of the process when he had decommitted from his school that he was committed at. Because I respect that. I wouldn't expect Trey to get involved in something that's just so life-changing. This is a life-changing moment for any of our kids where they have all their goals lined up and their aspirations on what they want to accomplish while they're here, and to put that burden on Trey would be so unfair and unprofessional for me to do. And, you know, Trey respected that. Of course, we had conversations about it because I wanted to make sure he was okay with it. My main focus was, is this something that you would want? Would you be comfortable playing with your brother? Because the last thing I want is to get in the way of everything Trey's working for, because Trey's actually here. He's present on campus. And when he gave me the thumbs up, you know, the family was very supportive. They really allowed Bryce to find his way through this process, because it was a very big moment for him when he decided to decommit. He had every school in the country after him, and there was an attraction to come to Lincoln because of all the positive things Trey had to say. His experience for that first year was nothing but positive, and there could have been a lot of negative because there was nothing but negative. It was the COVID year. It was a lot of adjustments, and it wasn't the true experience of what he's getting to experience now. And that's one thing, looking back, that I certainly appreciated with the process is everyone stayed in their lane, and everyone respected that lane and didn't veer off and get in the way of each other.
That's awesome. Let's talk about the latest signing class. How did you guys go about assembling that, and how excited are you about this new group?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to sign a quality group like we did, I think it finished top 30 in one ranking site and top 35 in another. That's not something that you ever take lightly. I mean, that's a great accomplishment for our program as you're continuing to build and make this an attractive destination.
Top 20, you're top 20 in one, top 30 in another.
There you go. So I mean, that's recruiting rankings at the end of the day really don't mean much. What they mean, though, is for the public is validating what we're trying to build. And, you know, that first year coming in here with all those scholarships, putting that team together pretty much overnight, and these last two classes being highly acclaimed nationally is something that validates the vision that we're laying out to these kids and the families. And, you know, that's something that we're proud of. And when you're building and you find a group of kids that do have that belief in you and are aligned with your vision, that's when things can really take off. So we're really excited. They each possess something that we see in them that is a major strength on how we play. And, you know, certainly across the board, the first thing we always look at is shot-making ability. And 3 of the 4 can do that at a high level, and the other one being Blaze Cada, who's as big 10 ready right now as you can possibly be when it comes to being a legit 5-man and legit big in this conference.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about him. He's one of the top JUCO players, which has got to be big kind of transferring into this league. But how important was that to kind of get some size and get a guy that's Big Ten ready like that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this recruiting class is we've kind of addressed a lot of needs with each guy individually. Blaze being the first one out of the 4 that verbally committed before anybody else. And, you know, he's as legit of a body and brings the physicality that you expect to have in this league. His production towards the end of his freshman year was phenomenal, leading Coffeyville to a junior college national championship. He was the best player on the floor, wasn't even close in that national championship game. He just dominated. And, you know, the skill set that he has is very underrated. He's as efficient of a scorer in the paint as you're going to find. And, you know, he's a kid. Listen, we got him to commit early, and if we didn't, he'd have every school in the country after him. So the fact that he believed in us early in the process was huge for us, and definitely the foundation of what was a really, really good class.
So when you talk about shot-making ability, and I mean, is it what kind of goes into that? Are you looking at numbers? Are you watching them? How often it just goes in when you're watching the film? I mean, what is that process like to find a shot maker?
Well, I mean, definitely first off, what it looks like, and then second of all, are you making them? Because there are some funky shots that people make, and you're like, how does that go in? But it works for them, and those 2 areas definitely, you know, those layers get peeled back over and over and over to make sure that this is somebody that fits what we're trying to do. Jamarcus Lawrence was arguably one of the best 3-point shot makers in the Adidas circuit in the summer. In high school in New Jersey, arguably the best shooter in the state of New Jersey. Ramel Lloyd, definitely known for his shot-making ability out in the West Coast, showed that in the EYBL, showed that in high school. You know, Blaze, of course, what he can do on the interior. And, you know, Denham Dawson, who's a kid that does not get credit for his shot-making ability because he's that elite of an athlete, and he is that elite of a on-ball defender. He is Mr. Intangibles. I haven't been around a signee that brings as much ability to talk like he does. I've never seen a kid at 18 years old talk as much as him in a high school game. And that's what stood out right away. And he backed it up with his play, but his ability just to sit back there and literally conduct his teammates to where they need to be on the floor was so impressive. We're really excited about him coming and enrolling early in December, giving him a head start on, our system, a head start on development, and to me, that will only carry over and be a huge benefit for us November of next year.
I laugh because that's the word that you hear the most. I feel like at practice is communicate.
No question.
So that's got to be something that Coach Hoiberg loves.
No question. When I brought Coach out to watch him, immediately he was attracted to him because of his ability to talk. It's definitely something you hear about a lot because, it's amazing how quickly these guys can talk to each other off the court, but yet when they get on the court, it's like nothing. And it's very difficult because sometimes the guys on the court, they don't know what they need to say. And that is a skill. And that's something you learn with experience that comes. So to have a kid from day one really being able to talk properly on the court and put guys in the right spot, I mean, that's a huge skill.
Right now, who's the best communicator on this current basketball team?
I would say Trey is one of the best. Derek Walker is certainly one of the best. Alonzo is good. He could be a lot better, but I would say those two stand out most consistently. And, there's no coincidence. Those are two older kids that have been through it. And, that comes with the time and the preparation of knowing what to say on the court. Because it's so easy. Just talk. Okay, what am I saying?
Right.
And that's where that experience comes into play.
All right, time for another quick break, but get those phone calls and texts in for Coach Abdelmassi on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline, 402-413-2400. Shop Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. We got more with the Nebraska Men's Basketball Radio Show coming up right after this. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. UNL has been named one of the best schools for veterans for the 5th year in a row. The ranking on the Military Times Best for Vets survey reflects the hard work of Nebraska's Military and Veteran Success Center, serving military dependents, veterans, National Guard members, active duty troops, and many Husker students in the reserves.
When you choose Woodman Life, you choose a better life insurance company. Yes, Woodman Life is life insurance, but so much more. Woodman Life is here to protect your family's financial future and offer help when the going gets tough. And Woodman Life is honored to join you in the celebration of family, community, and country. Get to know Woodman Life at woodmanlife.org. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities they serve across the state of Nebraska. There really is no place like Nebraska Realty.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska Lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Huskers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and more. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding Nebraska athletics, including game times, results, ticket promotions, prize giveaways, and more. Log on to also follow several sport-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Join today and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world. Visit huskers.com/social media to see all of our accounts.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth, and right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor to visit with them once a week in school.
For more information on how you can help the Teammates Mentoring Program, please go to teammates.org, and thank you for supporting our youth.
Sponsored by Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app. Welcome back to our Nebraska basketball show with Matt Abdelmassi this week. Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. I had one more question I wanted to ask you about recruiting. And you and I were talking about the relationship that you've been able to build with Coach Hoiberg, and just that comes with a long time working with him. But how much easier does it make your job when guys can see the type of system that he plays, that NBA type style of offense, and like you said, we talked about the shooters earlier, that you can let it fly. It's got to bode well when you're recruiting guys to come play for this program.
No question, and of course backing it up that we've had 11 guys make it.
Right.
That's a significant graphic statistic that you can throw at a potential recruit because they're going to be put in a position to be able to go out there and reach their goals. And, since 2010, we've had the most transfers in college basketball that have made it to the NBA. All league players, all Americans, the most. And that translates. And whenever you can back it up with legit statistics and proof, that always validates what you're selling to them, and style of play being the biggest one, because the carryover from playing under Coach Hoiberg to then going to the NBA, it's not some pure chance luck that Delano Banton's off to a great start, because the transition's seamless. It's the same terminology that he heard under Coach for 2 years. He's put in the same positions on the floor that he was put here at Nebraska for 2 years under Coach. So, you know, that's something that's really powerful.
He said that. He's called you guys and said how much not easy. It's not an easy transition, but maybe easier.
Yeah.
Because of the system that he played in under here at Nebraska.
No question. Yeah. I mean, we always tell kids that you're getting a cheat sheet on what it's like to be in the NBA, and then you're also getting a PhD while you're here on what it is to be an NBA player, with everything that goes on in our program and how Coach runs his program. Very, very similar to what they're doing at the next level.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig right. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Had a question for you on our text line. What is Kobe Webster's injury, and when will he be back? He's too good not to be playing.
So Kobe had a really freak injury that happens with his back, and now it's just been spazzing out, and he's had back spasms, and pretty sure he'll be available to play. His health, endurance, all that stuff is close to being 100%, but it's just something that our training staff's clearly monitoring, because with back spasms, you never know when they're going to flare up.
All right, final break, but we'll be back with our final segment. We got to talk a little Creighton. Kind of a big basketball game here on Tuesday night. We got to close the show out talking about that, get a little preview for that. Keep it here on our Nebraska Basketball Show.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection. The Nebraska lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities they serve across the state of Nebraska. There really is no place like Nebraska Realty.
Successful farmers must make good decisions every day. In pivot irrigation, the choice is simple. T&L exclusive hydraulically powered pivot irrigation systems are like no other. You get tough, reliable, and cost-effective irrigation. Let T&L's 60 years of irrigation experience work for you. Call your local T&L dealer or T&L Irrigation Company today. T&L, like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's Cheesy Mac and Cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solution for every field. Final segment here with Matt Abdelmassi. Well, pretty big basketball game coming up Tuesday night. I am wearing the T-shirt. If you're watching on the YouTube stream,
We over me.
Yes, the students are going to get this. The first 750 students. We've heard a lot about it. I've talked a lot about it since I've gotten here. I've heard about this matchup with Creighton. We heard Trey McGowan's talking about it. These players are going to get their first taste of it because, again, you didn't play in front of fans last year. But how important is a loud, rockin' PBA?
Yeah, I mean, we all are getting that first experience, Jessica. Our first year played at Creighton, and then, of course, this past year with COVID, playing the game at Creighton in front of no fans. This is our first opportunity. We've heard a lot of the stories about just the intensity and the tension that's in the building, and that's awesome. Listen, this is everything that's right about college athletics is a game like tomorrow night. Everything that you want your kids to experience is a game like tomorrow night. And we all know that the rivalry is well chronicled. We know the fan bases. We know how close it is. And we also know that Creighton's had a tremendous amount of success against Nebraska, historically speaking, in the last 20 years. Anything further than that's really old, so I'll just keep it at 20 years. But this is a moment for us that we take very serious because this is a program-defining moment where we feel like we can take that next step, and we don't take it lightly. We don't take lightly the responsibility that we have as a program to give our fan base and inject them with some enthusiasm and some hope because this fan base desperately deserves it. They show up literally with unwavering support night in and night out, and they deserve seeing a product on the floor that they're really proud of. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m., hopefully Haymarket is absolutely popping and celebrating. I tweeted out before I came here, the weather's going to be so big time, I would expect people should tailgate before the game and get ready to go at 6 p.m. But, yeah, there's nothing but excitement because everything that you work for and you're building is for moments like tomorrow night.
Last minute, what have you seen out of Creighton? What have you guys seen on film?
Well, listen, I mean, there's no question replacing an entire starting five is never easy. We've been there and done that. We know what that feels like. But listen, transition, that's what they do. They are as lethal of a transition team as you're going to have in the country. And if we limit them in transition and make it a half-court game, we feel like we have a great shot.
All right, Nebraska and Creighton coming up 6 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. But, of course, we will have the radio call for you right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Can't wait. I'm going to get my first experience at it, too. I've heard it's just going to be rocking. Get in there, get those T-shirts, those free T-shirts.
Get your T-shirts and also wear red, though, because I know everyone in this town has red.
Absolutely. It's a red out.
Yes, everyone. Don't be that one person that wears white.
Wear red, people. Come on. All right, you could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL 4WD Super Crew truck from Woodhouse Auto Family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to huskers.com/Woodhouse. All right. That will do it for us. Thanks to Matt Abdelmassi. And go Big Red. Big one tomorrow coming up in PBA. Be loud and wear red.
Yes. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Sometimes being an office printer feels like I'm competing in an Olympic sport.
Thankfully, I have Marco's Managed Print Services on my team. Marco's game plan helps me make big plays while saving big bucks. And Marco's lightning fast tech support gets me back in the game fast. I'm up. Find out what your printers could be saying with Marco's Managed Print Services at marconet.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities they serve across the state of Nebraska. There really is no place like Nebraska Realty.